Hey everyone, so today I wanted to talk to you guys about cinematography, namely the type of cinematography that I do, because everyone has different tastes and styles. So I'm going to be running you guys through the basics of camera control. So I love having my aperture as open as possible, and mine would usually be around f-stop 4. I love it when everything in the background is out of focus, when fairy lights are like blibby blobbies. The higher the f-stop number, the more that's going to be in focus in the background. It just increases the depth of field, so everything's in focus. And for white balance, you always want to make sure that your whites are white. My ISO is always really low because when you have a really high ISO, it'll make everything really noisy. There are two types of lights, one's called continuous and one's for photography. The photography lights are not powerful enough for film. They cause a lot of shutter flicker in your camera. In terms of lighting equipment, I do not like using those really expensive and big and yellow film lights. I just think they're terrifying. Someone has always gotten burnt. They get hot really fast. The actors get really hot. I've never seen a single student film where they successfully used any of those lights. Everyone's always way overexposed. It's not even part of the story. It's just bad technicalities. The lights that I like using are always white lights. So yeah, this is the light that I typically use, and it comes with 3 bulbs, but I don't always use all 3. It's a lot cooler. People don't get hurt. It doesn't make the room hot and everything, and you can attach a lot of things to it and it won't set on fire, you won't get burnt. If I'm doing a cinematography job, I normally only take my little LED lights, and these ones were a lot more affordable. It has an orange filter, and then it has just a plain white one, so you can change the color lighting that you want from it. So you can either go from daylight or make it tungsten. So you can take the back off, and it has these little magnetic pieces on it. I leave the tungsten one on because in this model, the white one comes out a bit too green. I'd rather color correct with the warmer tone on it. When I turn it on, it's super bright and super harsh, but you can see how much you can get out of it. That's like really amazing for such a little tiny light. And it also has toggles on the side, and you can turn it down. They're really cute, and they're really easy. I don't have to like lug them around like my big light kit, which always gets damaged. Someone always ends up dropping it or like tripping on it. So having these and on a little tripod stand is like really efficient, or I just stack them up on books. They run out of battery super fast though. I just picked up some chargeable batteries, and these are a lot more expensive, but you know, I'm figuring it'll save the environment a bit more because I've been throwing out batteries like crazy. IKEA has a lot of really affordable lighting options, which many people use in their films. When I was working in Hollywood, they use these little light lanterns. They give really good ambient light, and it's very easy to hide them within a film. If you have a shot where your character is walking around the room but you didn't want to expose all the light stands, these are easily fitted into their world. So if they're exposed and if they show in your scene, it's totally fine because it looks like it's just part of the set design. So a lot of people just buy a light and then they just pop it up and they're like, okay, now it looks professional. But that's not the case. Most of the time you need to diffuse the light or bounce the light, and you don't have to go too expensive with diffusing the light. I just get ordinary parchment paper, which you typically use for baking and stuff, so it can withstand temperatures, and then I just rip it off and then just stick it to my light and everything, and it does the same as a really big diffuser, but it's just so much more cost effective. And when it comes to windows and available light, typically when you have an actor on the inside of a house and they're standing by a window, the window is gonna just blow out all the whites because it's gonna have a lot more light outside than it is gonna have indoors. And the way to combat that is to use something to diffuse the light. And cinematographers just love going to the art department and asking for anything to diffuse the windows. So they're usually looking for sheer curtains. And I have this right here. This is a cream colored one so that it matches my current curtains. And it's gonna take it from looking like a student film to something that has a bit more diffusion. The same case goes for when you have a lighting situation where the sunlight is coming in through the window. You're gonna have these blown out hot whites. using available lighting. For a hair light shot, you want the sun to be behind your subject and you want the sunlight. Ouch! Hi, Money. Sir, can you stop chewing? Oh. No, gross. There is an app that you can download on your phone for golden hour / magic hour, and it just helps you sort out all the timings. A lot of people asking me questions seem to be really interested in making YouTube videos as well, so I thought I'd give away all my secrets and show you guys how I even lit this setup. So I have my microphone here, I've got my camera next, and then my light. You can see I only have one bulb in there. I just stack them up so it's like a tripod centipede sort of situation. So the camera is typically gonna flatten everything because everything is now a 2D space, and to make things feel a lot more depthy and 3D, you want to give it a lot more distance. So my nightstands are not connected to the wall, they're pulled away from it, same as the lights as well. And I like popping lights in the background because I feel like it just adds a lot of depth. It shows that things are really far away and I'm here in the foreground. So when you have the light closer to your subject, it increases the amount of contrast that you have, so the background will be a lot darker. And in this sort of way, it creates a lot of depth. Okay, so in the late 1800s, there's this guy called Thomas Edison, and he built the first film production studio, the Black Maria, or the Black Maria. I have no idea how to pronounce it. I'm really bad with names. This was basically a black box sort of thing. It was very small and crammed, and they would put all the actors inside it and stuff. And it could also turn and rotate to follow where the sun was falling through the roof. And this was a way to control the conditions, and that's basically what you want to do. You want to just control the conditions of your lighting situation. You can learn tons about lighting and how they control the conditions from behind the scenes photos. Okay, hey guys, so you know how I was just talking about the Black Maria and how you need to create your own little black box? So we have created our own little black box. A really great way to practice lighting is to actually take a song. It's just for educational purposes. We're going to be using Important by Way Yes. It's just a song about this person who has no friends who are replying their messages and stuff, and I thought I'd just make a quick little clip about that. And we're going to start shooting shots of my sister Imani because she'll be the model today. So we turned it into a pity party that she's just throwing for herself because she feels really sad. This is a piece of black card and it is your best friend ever. It's really cost efficient, and we just put it on the floor because the floor is white tile and it just bounces light everywhere, but we want to control the conditions as much as possible. And then I also placed some black on the wall, and yeah, and I stuck up some streamers. For controlled lighting sets, I think white walls are like the biggest enemy ever because they bounce light everywhere. It makes it really hard to get any contrast in your shots. So by putting out as much black as possible, you're gonna punch that contrast back in and you're gonna be able to control the lighting by using your own low lights. So as you can see inside here, we only have one bulb, and we have put this pink gel filter on top of it. It is a leaf filter, and you can buy them in different packs. I have the really large one so that I could cut little pieces out of it. Now when it comes to lighting, you always want a strong key light. So this will be our key light today. And this is a little party light. I got it at China Mall, and I have popped on some fairy lights over here, and these were also a really great price, and I just threw them up there to add a bit more visual texture to the shot. And we have this light over here. It's got 3 bulbs in it because it is going to act as a rim light, and I have placed this dark blue filter on top of it. So Imani has quite a bit of distance from the wall, and that little party light is hiding behind her. And then I have this light over here up on a chair because we couldn't fit a stand on the bed, but a chair could. And then here's the light over here. So this is what's going on at the moment. And then this is how far I am with the camera. And then so basically I just zoom in and I just focus on her. So we have put this little light over here over her shoulder so that we bring her shoulder back in, since it was now blending into the background and just making everything black. Her hair had disappeared, but by putting in this little light over here, we have brought her hair back, we brought her shoulder back. So we have lit the candle, and to get any smoke to show up in a shot, you always need to put your light source a little bit behind the smoke so that it'll show up. If you have your light source pointing at where the smoke will be coming out of, or the seam, it won't show up at all. So like, let's say if there was a scene that had a really big impact on you and you thought the visuals in it were stunning, rather than asking what camera they used, you should really be asking them how they achieved the lighting in that scene. Because there are people out there who have amazing cameras that are really, really expensive, but they have no clue how to light their scene, so it looks like a really crappy camera. You can have a really crappy camera, but as long as you know how to light something, no one will know that your camera was that old or that crappy. Alright, if you guys have any questions, please ask them in the comments down below. Feel free to request any sort of videos. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!